AIS Play รวมความบันเทิงคุณภาพเปิดความสนุกทุกที่ทุกเวลา
Backfire in your face, so there is an opening here to potentially take a game.
Yeah, it's going to come down to Adwa to see if he can actually contain Peanut and his aggression. The Trundle pick has really been the big thing that we've seen so far. Has a very good gauge of distances and has been able to fight his way 1v1 throughout most of the tournament.
Yeah, again, yesterday I was calling the bottom lane Core JJ and Ruler the unsung heroes because they were just in the right place at the right time doing everything that they needed to do. Wasn't necessarily flashy. I feel like actually when you look at the top side of the map, they were pulling off the flashy maneuvers, but the bottom lane has just probably been the straight up most consistent, most solid bottom lane of the tournament.
It's the rock solid base that Korea is standing on top of. These guys were the world's 2017 champion bot lane duo, and the way they played have remained remarkably similar. They are about the tower pushing, they are about the objectives. They will not contest unless they have score around you. They play relatively safe, but when they do get ahead, they will rotate across the entire map and take everything.
They will. It's really about those structures, about those objectives. Seen a lot of Ash, a lot of Tam Kench come out of that duo. And of course, mid lane, you already heard the crowd get behind him. It's
a Faker fan. That's the most beautiful Faker fan we have in the stadium today.
It's the Faker fam right there.
Oh, it's the Faker fam? I'm sorry, I didn't know that.
Yeah, Faker right there in the mid lane. I mean, I feel like Faker just playing with so much confidence over this tournament. It's the fact that he has this infrastructure around him. He looks like an entirely different player from what we were seeing out of the domestic region.
Yeah, and it's really surprising. It's been a bit of a downward split for Faker so far. They're not in the playoffs, and actually a lot of time Faker has been coming off of the bench. He still holds the title as the best and most well-known esports player in League of Legends.
Yeah, 100%. You've got to have those ups and you've got to have those downs as well. But alongside him, Peanut, Score behind him on the bench as well. I mean, it's just changed how he's been able to play in the mid lane. If he wants to push forwards, he's got someone to hold his grape juice. You know what I mean? Like, he holds out normally and it just falls on the floor. And what are you going to do? Absolutely nothing. But when you have a jungler there to support him, that's when we see magic happen.
Yeah, Peanut and Faker have played together in the 2017 split. And unfortunately, things did fall apart. They didn't work that well together. This tournament, that has not been the case. The big carry for Korea we're seeing on our screen right now has been King, holding up the tradition of Korean top laners. They are exported across the world.
Yes, they are. They're a fine commodity.
Because they're the best.
You know me and I know you. We're about those top laners, and seeing just a mechanically strong top laner in lane, knowing exactly what to do when you get to the mid game as well, just makes me smile.
Yeah, the thing about King is that he is willing to take a step backwards and not really contest things without his jungler.
Yeah, Keen has shown a lot of different things this tournament, though. Not only has he managed to show the fact that he is an exceptionally strong player in the solo lane, but also he'll be a damage sponge when you need him to as well. He'll go on a pick that is difficult to go for. Looking at the opposite side, though, Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, Wikichi in the top lane, Ajwad in the jungle, Fear in the mid lane, with Mimic and Shao down in the bottom lane.
And this is the team that we say that likes skirmishing a lot. They are a bit early game focused. They can take it to you, and if you let your guard slip down, they can catch you in a team fight. They're very coordinated, which for me was incredibly surprising compared to some of the other teams in the tournament.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, coming out of the qualifiers, I mean, it was definitely a scramble. You know, we saw those qualifiers, it was an absolute ruckus. But then I think that the shining light was definitely when we saw this team come out of it, and then they looked even cleaner coming out into the main stage event, which for me was shocking. I mean, typically you do not see an identity change from teams moving from like a couple of weeks or even a couple of months, but this is a team that's been thrown together and looked incredibly strong.
Definitely for sure, and we are going to start with their bot lane. Mishal here playing the Tom Kench and the Alistar. They are a more protective situation in terms of the bot lane. I feel like they're more top-side focused. Their solo laners are the big carries, but they are here to play a bit safer, and really they do kind of mimic, if you will, the Korean play style of trying to go for the objectives in the bottom side of the map.
Now, well acquainted with these players, they of course play on Europe West, and I'm from Europe West. I saw them back in my day when I was over there just a couple of years ago. Of course, competing in the European Challenger Series, actually, including their coach behind them, Konyi-san. Fear, though, the guy that we're going to be looking at, I feel like this guy is really going to make magic happen for the team. He's going to come anywhere. He's going to be coming out of Fear.
I'm actually a little bit surprised about his champion pool. I don't really remember seeing the Nocturne, so no, I believe that's a typo. But the big champions for him,
Akali.
Yeah, definitely. Akali, Vladimir would be the big ones.
Yeah, Adward in the jungle, though, with I feel like he's probably more the Nocturne player.
Yeah.
Maybe the mid lane stole it from him, but no, I'm pretty sure he's more the Nocturne player. The Gragons, of course, as well.
Definitely Ajwad, previously known as Climb Stairs in the qualifier, so
Yes, indeed.
just a little bit of a mix-up right there, my first day of casting, but he has changed his name, and now we're going to go to Wikichi, probably the most famous player on the roster. It's all about those carries.
Yes, he is. Vladimir coming out of him along with the Gnar in the top lane. But if we're looking at two-prong assaults, it's also going to come out of the solo lanes. You're talking about the bottom lane, expecting them to play a little bit safer. But then if we're looking at the team as like an identity and there's the core, I still feel like there is something else they can put out. And when you look at Korea, typically the team with all the answers. You know, you look at Faker, he's usually got an answer to anything he can put out in the mid lane. So where else is it going to be?
Well, I feel like this matchup, it's really going to be decided and dictated about with how Korea wants to approach this matchup. Do they actually want to take a little bit of a gamble and play fast and perhaps a little bit loose with Saudi Arabia, or are they going to show the same face that they did against China and just go slow, steady with suffocation?
Well, given that it's Peanut, I would probably say that there's going to be something
I hope so.
to accelerate the game. Yeah, let's get into Champions League though. Korea really banning out that Ken right there, trying to defang the top laner from Saudi Arabia, banning away the Aatrox on red side, like to see it, and then LeBlanc going to be a lockdown there against Thea, taking away those assassins.
So I do think side selection heavily favors blue side in this tournament. On 8.15, you do have to take away the Aatrox and the Akali, so playing it really safe by Kong Zisan coming in from Saudi Arabia.
Makes sense. It's really just about what that final ban is going to be and whether they actually want to look towards maybe a Faker ban. Of course, from Faker, we've only really seen a whole lot of like Galio. We've seen some Yasuo come out of him as well, along with the standard meta picks, seen some Orianna as well in this tournament. So taking away, I think, just straight up Galio might be just a really nice tool to take away from Faker. But it's going to be the Ryze actually here.
Yeah, Ryze is, for me, it's more scary to face up against a Ryze because in the later portions of the game, it's really hard to deal with him 1v1, and that does open up the 1-3-1 strategy that we've seen from Korea so far. Now, the Olaf ban is pretty interesting for me because if you looked at this tournament, Peanut's most played would be the Trundle, and that's actually a straight-up counter into the Olaf. So what this signals to me is that Korea's very much afraid that Ajwad will somehow be able to consistently gank the lanes and create an upset through that way. So they're taking away one of the strongest ganking junglers, even though that they have the perfect counter jungle right in their hands.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting here, but of course giving Peanut a good matchup for himself definitely makes a whole lot of sense. Saudi Arabia looking for a first pick of the Varus there into the bottom lane. Again, massive priority on this patch. And actually just confirming the bottom lane straight up with the Alistar.
Yeah, the Alistar is a bit of the interesting one. Usually you do see the Tahm Kench being followed up high here, and it would also have been a takeaway coming from Korea's squad, because I feel like the way the 1-3-1 works for Korea is that they can use their globals at a drop of a hat. So they're very good at using the Tahm Kench, but this time around with the Xayah open, they could be going for the Xayah Rakan duo and even using their own skins.
Yeah, there's a good chance. Again, it's Rakan into Alistar right here, but he's also got the Lover's Fury straight up. So, yeah, you're absolutely right. Could just use the skins.
Yeah, that's a lot of sales cash.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Trundle, nice pickup here from Saudi Arabia. Also a takeaway from Peanut this tournament.
So, you know, that's kind of the confusion I did get with the ban pick phases right here. I feel like Ajwad actually has the same evaluation as Peanut, so taking away the Olaf, giving over the Trundle, it's a pretty strong situation for Saudi Arabia to come into.
Yeah, like in the draft so far, Kindred banner into Peanut. Wouldn't be surprised if they just continue to hammer that champion pool there. Still yet to pick up their mid lane though. Zoe is going to be banned against Thea.
I really like what Korea's bans are. They're basically taking away high variance picks. So basically the Olaf can snowball incredibly hard, the LeBlanc can snowball incredibly hard. So they're just making sure that in the early game, whatever happens, there's not going to be a blowout, an unexpected victory coming out from Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, which is interesting, right? Because coming into this matchup with Peanut, you know, if you're trying to reduce factors, you probably just grab score as well. And it's like, all right, let's play the cleanest game of League of Legends we've ever seen.
You know what's going to happen?
What?
They're going to make Peanut play Sejuani.
Oh, maybe it's
that's
attacking the jungle. We'll see. I mean, it's also facing down into the Trundle. I feel like the only pick, if you're looking for a tank jungler, would probably be Sejuani, but let's see what else it could be. I mean, while this is open instead of carry jungle, well, you know, that exists. I'm going to have Talia coming in here.
All right, so Talia's fairly interesting because she can be played as a flex pick. Peanut has a couple of games on that champion as well. Now we should be looking for the mid lane for Faker. This is going to have to be a blind pick, and so far in the tournament, we've seen Orianna be kind of his go-to if he's put in this situation.
I mean, it's just super safe, but that's not an Orianna.
Okay.
That is the opposite of an Orianna. That is a Jarvan being locked in here for Korea.
It should be a Jarvan jungle.
And then Talia mid lane.
Yeah. Oh,
did he just lock that in? Straight up, zero fear. Fear will just pick up the Katarina. I mean, this is the pocket pick we were waiting to see.
And this is what we were talking about for so long. He is our only cat main in the tournament. It has been known on the US servers. If you check up his account, he has an amazingly high win rate on this champ.
If there is a time to do it, it would be literally right now. The Katarina pick coming forwards. I mean, we just need to see what he can do with the pick, to be honest. I mean, I assume he's going to be facing down into the Talia here, Clement.
It's actually a very good matchup into the Talia because the Talia cannot start out with the seismic shove. He has to save that for once the Death Lotus does start.
Yeah, there are definitely a lot of factors right here that could interrupt the Katarina. I mean, almost everybody actually on this roster has some form of a CC that can disrupt the cat, but I don't know, I'm trying to think how it would work, honestly. There's a lot of initiate coming in from Saudi Arabia just in general, and a big tank front line, so if you can get that Death Lotus off, it could be lights out.
Yeah, so this is actually a planned move by Saudi Arabia. They do have a lot of execution ability, piercing arrow coming out from the Varus and the Beast from Cho'Gath. So if they can make the resets happen, they could instantly double the DPS coming out from Fear.
That's true, yeah, actually finalizing the kills on some of these targets, but I mean, just the fact they're on red side as well, waiting for that last pick. I mean, we said it before the game, there's a feeling that there's going to be something else.
Yeah.
You know, there's a single card left in the hands, and that was it.
And that's the trump card coming out from Fear right in game one. He has to take it to Faker, be fearless in his execution, and show him his best.
That's going to be a Jarvan actually mid lane, Clement. Yeah. So if my eyes do not deceive me, it will be Talia jungle. Jarvan mid lane coming out from Faker. When was the last time you casted a Jarvan mid lane into a Katarina?
So the last time is actually, I've never casted Jarvan into Katarina, but I have casted Poison Jarvan. Okay. It used to be a pick in the mid lane with a lot of armor penetration. You can't get those instant kills.
Well, let's get on to the rift for our first semifinals. It's going to be Korea taking on Saudi Arabia. First blood.
Oh, come on. That doesn't count. Just a bit of pocket change.
Yeah, exactly. Coming out from Core JJ right there. And yeah, pretty much just going to draw these lines in the sand right here, just in the river. Master going to be sent back, and we're going to get a bit of early information here, Korea.
Are going to try to scout out where Saudi Arabia decides to start. And this could be a potential level 1. Of course, the Xayah Rakan lovers do have incredibly powerful at level 1. And we do see the blue support item early as well.
Supporting their own skins, no less.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you at the end of the day? But, Core JJ, Michelle stepping up, looking for this pulverize. Wants it onto 2, but we'll still just find it onto support. Stepping up as the aftershock, but now under attack. Ignite goes down. The rest of the team needs to stand in front of this Alistar.
It's a very favorable trade for the Korean squad. They do get the flash from Michelle. And there really weren't enough crowd control to let Saudi Arabia go ahead with that trade. You could see that Varus and Trundle, there's no way they were actually going to follow up.
Pushing forward once again. Michelle still low, turned around, lands the pulverize. Gets a nice bit of damage back on towards him there from Mimic, but still that bottom lane definitely gone over to the Korean squad.
Yeah, and they should continue this pressure. They do still have a summoner lead over the Saudi Arabian bot lane. They should be very careful about Core JJ hitting level 2. That's when the big all-in is going to come.
Yeah, probably to be expected on that one. And yeah, just looking at Peanut, I mean, he's going to be on this Talia, passing through the jungle. Didn't expect it to be the Talia in the jungle and the Jarvan in the mid, but here we are.
Oh, I understand what this comp is. This is a Samsung comp.
Oh.
They're using the world skins. This is actually just a sales pitch.
Wait, really?
Yeah,
no,
I'm not kidding.
It actually is, isn't it?
It is.
Faker being pushed back in the mid lane. Fear almost gets the kill. Oh! First blood goes to Fear.
And that's such a huge snowball champion. If he can continuously do that,
Man, I am so sad we didn't get to see the setup to that one because that was Fear straight up getting a solo kill on Faker.
Yeah, I think, you know, Korea's probably playing with their food a little bit. We understand that maybe this isn't the quote-unquote compositional idea. It's more of a sales pitch to remind everyone that they're still the world champions.
Well, it's not going to be a good sales pitch if they lose the game, Clement.
It's
of anyone to give early kills to, it would not be Katarina. That would not be my bet.
It would
okay, we get to see the setup.
Fully on ambition, but probably not Faker.
That's fair. It's a win-win situation.
Ooh.
Takes a tower shot.
Yeah, he does get the EQ, but takes one tower shot. The electric coot goes down.
Wow, Fear actually just straight maximized the damage. Every single ability landed.
Yeah, I really like the last Q coming in from the Katarina. Goes over the wall, and follows Faker through the flash.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that he led with the Q right there, I mean, Cat is a very intensive champion nowadays, but starting with the Q, I mean, Faker just stayed in the trade too long because it was just a second charge of the Q coming up with the bouncing blade so he could follow up with the kill.
Yeah, definitely, and you know, I have to be honest, Faker sometimes is known to be playing very disrespectfully. Like, he will push in and try to get a reaction out of you. He will take as much as possible, and if you don't react, if you don't push him back, then he will continue his play style and just continuously push you in. So after that first kill, however, I do expect Faker to probably play a little bit slower.
Yeah, you'd have to assume so, but again, Cat is a snowball champion, so I mean, he's just going to come back from base even stronger. Actually goes back to base, picks up the brown backs, and also has the longsword right there. And straight just increasing damage. Still down in farm though, just because it is a Jarvan into a Cat matchup. But we'll see what else he can do in the mid lane. For now, the top lane is now under attack. Ajwad coming in. The top coming through from the Gnar, and unfortunately still makes it over the trophy being thrown out there by the Trundle.
Yeah, unfortunately the knockback not going in the right direction for Ajwad.
Yeah, bot lane trading off. Shao pushing forward. We'll get the stun off onto the support, but Zaya still putting down the hurt. Ignite comes down onto Mimic. Flashes away. No follow-up coming in, but Michelle still in very deep. Root comes down. Last auto attack. Another one comes through. Gleaming Quill comes out from CoreJJ.
What a well-done trade right there. They did balance the focus coming out from Saudi Arabia very well. In fact, CoreJJ did take the majority of the damage there, and then Ruler was able to find his way back into the fight directly onto Mimic. So, unfortunate 2v2 situation.
And it's all just happening in the lanes here, Clement. Not even with the jungle ganks, but I just say that, and Peanut arrives to the mid lane, tries to dodge out of this one, flashes away, but it's followed through from Peanut. Another kill over to Korea.
Yeah, there's nothing really much that Fear could do right there. He was tagged by the EQ combo, and he did flash out of the Seismic Shove. But still, you know, Peanut with the red buff and with the flash himself is able to secure the kill.
Yeah, gaining access now into the enemy jungle, now looking to the top lane. We can see the wave is about to crash on Cannon Wave as well. Keen close to Mega Gnar.
And Ajwad has been spotted out at his own Raptors. There will be no help for this gank.
No, there will not, but instant flash away, gets out of the Gnar ultimate, and Korea saved. No, not today. I mean, we're good.
Well played by Wikichi. Uses all of his abilities when he absolutely needs them, and does avoid the continuous snowball for the top lane. If you look at the CS, however, it is a worrying trend. Usually the Cho'Gath in the early game should be able to stay quite close in the CS.
Yeah, I feel like that's a story across the board, though, in every single position outside of support, to be honest, at this point in time, Clement. Every lane is ahead just in terms of the lane phase itself, but in terms of the plays, Saudi Arabia are able to keep up. That being said, Cataclysm comes down onto Fear, pops Death Loads, is instantly interrupted. Ready with that one as soon as it happened. Shut down again into the mid lane.
Yeah, Korea's bot lane was a little bit overextended, but they definitely saw the play coming out from Fear. In fact, they become the, they transfer from the Hunted to becoming the Hunters. This wraparound and fairly easy kill.
Somehow, top lane pretty low just from harassment coming in from the Gnar. Doesn't have his ultimate, will be able to follow through with the rock coming through, and many more pebbles after that coming out of Talia. Another kill. Goes over to the Korean side, this time in the top lane.
And that Talia is growing big really fast. The Sword Boots already done. This is not a traditional build. She wants that extra movement speed and to snowball even harder. I think Peanut's probably going to try and break his own record.
See if he can do it. For now, though, mid lane Faker just straight goes for the Hex Drink. He's like, all right, I understand that I died 1 versus 1. Let me just go for the relatively safe option. I won't feed anymore. And will stop Fear from snowballing out of control. And as long as you can just limit those factors, because you know you're talking this in Champion Select, and I was like, that's actually super true. To try and take away all the things that could potentially blow up the game, there is only one thing in this game that is the miscellaneous factor. That is the mid lane Katarina. In the bottom lane, throws out the Feather Storm, and he's dead before it even lands. And Michelle without a marksman.
Xayah, the majority of her damage is actually on the Blade Caller. Didn't even need to use that to get the kill.
Here comes Talia as well to seal the deal in that 1 versus 1. There was actually potential. Actually, Fear could have picked up that 1v1 kill once again, but again, Talia, level 6, will be able to get into the area very quickly.
Yep, and there's too little support coming in from the jungle for Fear to really snowball. He did get the early kill, but I don't think jungle really has the crowd control.
Well, he supports himself by getting kills. Faker turns around, lands a knockup, goes right back towards him into the middle lane, and the rest of the team is here to clean up the kill. Battle dance, knocked up, knocked down. He's taken out.
And what a beautiful tempo play. He even gets himself into a good recall spot.
Oh, solo kill, obliteration in the top lane.
Yeah, I feel really bad for Wikichi. I mean, he just got camped by Peanut 3 times in a row, and that was kind of the inevitable result of that, dropping a lot of CS. You can see Keen in the top lane, close to doubling the CS score of the Cho'Gath already.
Yeah, it was unfortunate because one item Power Spike went for the Wit's End as well to bypass a lot of the armor that Wikichi had been itemizing early, and it was just, I mean, that's what's going to happen on that one item Power Spike without help from the jungler after falling in the mid lane. Meanwhile, on the bottom side, that's a nice chain of corruption there, landing onto CoreJJ. Tries to get away, but luckily his level was there to jump back towards and actually doing a lot of damage. Force out the unbreakable there from Charles.
And there's no way that Saudi Arabia can actually lane after that. We are going to have to check into their laning position if it's pushing in. This could be a extended freeze if Korea wants to play it that way, but luckily enough for them, the wave will be pushing out.
Looking for a 4-man collapse here. I mean, I would say 3.2 because Alistar is about an ultimate and about 10% HP. They're going to say no to this one. CoreJJ just waiting in the brush, has this one actually pre-pink warded. Or I guess control warded, that's what the kids are calling it nowadays.
That's actually very well timed from the Korean bot lane. They didn't fall for the 4v2 bait, and once Fear left the lane.
Well, Ruler actually just pushing through the tower right now. He smells the blood in the water. The shot goes into perfect time, but now his AD carry under attack. Mimic turns around, but massive Feather Storm coming through. Rips through both of them. Double kill coming through to Korea.
And that's just a straight 2v2 victory right there. No other help needed for Korea's bot lane to basically penetrate this lane. And that's such a dangerous thing because you're now going to have CoreJJ roaming around the map.
Yeah, moving through the tower.
One last hit.
The ultimate. He's not even bleeding out from this one.
Can he get the Q?
Jumps over the wall, and he's been completely bamboozled. Ruler there. Now he's chasing down Fear into his own jungle, the wrong part of town. Doesn't seem like anyone is there to collect, though. Faker moving in from the mid lane. It's battle against time now.
Faker could find him with the E. He's going to try to get the interrupt.
Where's he going to choose? He thinks he's recalling behind her. He just sees a recall in time. Last 0.1 seconds, and Fear goes back to base.
Good attempt. Good attempt.
Meanwhile, Peanut doing the right thing, being a good jungler, taking up the Rift Herald.
All right, I think Fear is pretty happy with this game.
Yeah, I mean, like, he's gotten all the highlight. Like, if you're creating a highlight reel out of this game, it's going to be 90% Fear.
Definitely a Soaz escape right there. Solo kill onto Faker.
The solo kill, yeah. I feel like that's just an accolade you need to put on your your CV at this point,
you're
right?
Not a real
you're not a real mid laner until you get the solo kill on Faker.
Like every mid laner worth their salt has probably gotten a solo kill on Faker.
That's true.
Maple.
Yeah. Sheer. Oh, mid lane. Faker's not very happy about that. Going to bring a friend along. I mean, that's technically cheating. You're also going for the 2 versus 1. I want to see Faker find the 1 versus 1 kill. Meanwhile, on the top side, Keen getting chased down. Nice dodge onto the Q, but it's going to have a little one coming very shortly. And it's just a sad life for this old Cho'Gath. Meanwhile, on the bottom side, 3-man collapse coming forwards. Adwad under attack. Massive Blade Caller coming through from Ruler. That's going to be a kill. Mimic now getting chased back to the tower. Once again, another knock-up, another kill. Double. And it's going to be a triple over to Korea.
Ooh, and 4 kills happening over to Korea, all across the map at the same time. That was a straight-up 3v3 in the bot side as well, and you can see Faker completely unattended here. Is able to take down 2 towers during that rotation.
Yeah, he's also got a Secretary Shelly here for another charge.
Well, unfortunately, it does seem like we're going to have to go into the countdown timer because the fastest game we've had so far has been 16 minutes and 30 seconds. Korea, you know, they could challenge that record set by Chinese Taipei.
Potentially, but Shelly's going to be a big part of that. Meanwhile, in the bottom lane, looking for this 1 versus 1. Ruler at range, though, pops the Death Lotus. Feeling whether he can actually go for this one or not. Ruler still drops him. Has the help out from the support there. Michelle finds the knockup. Dodge on Faker's Dragon Strike. In comes Keen, looking for that ultimate. Faker still managed to find a bleed-out kill, though, onto Michelle. And in from the top lane, Choga just came back for the fountain. He's already dead. Mimic getting chased back. Massive flick coming through. Finds 3 more kills. 20-1.
Make it stop. Make it stop.
Already dead. Meanwhile, on the bottom side, it's going to be yet another tower as they push this one in.
Yeah, incredibly fast game pace coming out from Korea. I really like the builds that they put into place. They went for the full damage items, basically. You can see the Sork Boots picked up by Peanut first, and in the top lane, the Wits and 2 just to chase people down. So Korea knows how far ahead they are, and they're willing to play a bit riskier with their builds just to finish the game faster.
I mean, that's an 8-0-2 to Leah, Clement. Ooh. That guy is legendary at 14 minutes. He is the most fed person on the team, but even Ruler, not too far behind him, already has a completed... well, the name escapes me.
Ruler has the completed
Storm Razor. There you go. I want to say Blood Razor, and I'm like, that's not the item. Razor was right. But Faker moving towards the top lane now.
The story of the game so far has basically been that Fear was able to hold his own in the mid lane a little bit, but the rest of the lanes really fell down to the jungle pressure.
Yep, Flag, Dragon, Wiki Chi, what can he do in this situation? Not a whole lot, being chased out by the Gnar. Faker wants blood, and he will get it. Another kill over to Faker.
There is no vision control in Saudi Arabia's own jungle. They have snuck a couple of wards around the Baron pit, but it's going to be a question if they can even see Baron spawn this game.
I will say that Faker does need to catch up right now. If you were to give anyone the feeder award on Korea, it would be Faker with 100% of the team's deaths.
Oh,
get out of here. Get into my base, but he's going to hop on through regardless. Michelle maybe cut off from the rest of the team right now. And Faker, he's in real deep. He actually opted in to go into the enemy base. Still dropping the Alistar. Meanwhile, Fear dipping and diving through the jungle. Nice dodge on that one, but you can't dodge an auto attack or a rock apparently from Peanut to the back of the head. Right now in the base, another Blade Caller is massive coming in from Ruler. Double kill. That's a straight up ace coming in from Korea.
Perfect 5-0 ace by that as well, and they are going to be looking to close the game in record time. We just said 16:30 is what they're chasing after, but they do decide to back off.
That's not what they're hunted for, apparently. I mean, respawns are coming up, but they definitely could have ended it right there, right then.
And I just want to tell everyone, if you want to support this this Korean squad, this specific Korean squad with these players, you should go out and buy these skins.
Fantastic. Well, we get to see that fight once again, and fantastic Spear Wall coming through, but it starts off with what looked like a great headbutt coming in from Michelle.
Yeah, he actually did stop the Gnar midway through the jump, and it looked good, but the Korean players were just able to collapse so incredibly fast, and look how many tower shots Faker actually takes throughout the entire fight. I counted 3 just going in, but they're so far ahead that they're able to clean it up without much resistance.
Yeah, I mean, shoutouts to Ruler for actually following Faker in the deep end. I mean, that was probably as deep as you could get if you weren't diving double Nexus turrets or even the Fountain Laser. So, well played to the dynamic duo.
All right, here's the real question. Can Saudi Arabia find that second kill? Can they take all the blame off of Faker's shoulders?
Or double down on the blame, right?
That could also be the case. Faker is split pushing by himself.
He is by himself, yeah. So if there's any... In fact, he's taken the service to them. So I'm not sure if it's on a silver platter or not. The platter is fighting back. Fear very low, and Mimic, I think he existed at one point, but he's dead now. Double knock-up, double down. 4 kills over to Korea, and they're looking for a clean win right here. Well, mostly clean. And Fear on the pad, what can he do? 1 versus 5 on this Katarina. Unfarmed, underfed. He's just being chased back onto the Fountain Laser. He's locked down. The team's onto the Nexus. They just want the win right here. Korea are going to take game 1 in its best of 3 in the semifinals.
And what a dominating game that was. Korea did give Saudi Arabia a chance. They probably didn't pick the most cohesive composition, I should say, but they did go for a exhibition match of the Samsung Galaxy
It was a
World
coordinated,
Champions.
yeah, exactly. It was a coordinated roster for certain. I mean, how do you reckon that one went in Champions? That the coach was like, all right, so this is how we're going to do it, so we can optimize the most likely picks that someone can pick away from this to get the entire composition.
Oh, wow, that's
Right.
actually a really
Because
smart way of
what
looking at
happens if your opponent realizes what you're doing and takes away one of the picks? You're screwed.
Oh. I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
So we should actually
Go back
through
and look at the
bands
graph
again.
order.
Yeah. It's actually very difficult to coordinate that.
That's very true, but Saudi Arabia, as we said, feel like they won the award for the montage reel. And specifically, I'm talking about Fear. Because what did he get? Like, if you're looking at the CV for bin laners, he got the solo kill on Faker, he got the Soaz teleport out. He got 100% of the kills on Korea in that game.
Yeah, you did.
That's true.
That's definitely true. So
Yeah.
Fear standing up.
100% kill participation.
For Saudi Arabia.
Yeah. And made Faker a feeder. I mean, that's pretty much what you can, you know.
I'm trying to think about something to talk about the game, but I feel like
It wasn't a lot of game, Clement.
Yeah, that's also true.
Yeah, what are the goals here for? Because again, we're talking about curveballs coming out from the Saudi Arabian squad. I feel like just throw more. You know what I mean? Like, force Korea to juggle.
They should use the Fnatic Season 1 World Champion skins.
And actually just go for or pick a theme comp here.
Yeah, and that would take away the Jarvan from Korea as well.
That's true. There is overlap. There's actually a pretty significant amount of overlap in some of the world skins.
I just want to see them
stay the same.
build some other crowd control on their jungler and just try to at least influence Fear's lane, because this is what the Saudi Arabian squad is known for, is basically snowballing their mid lane. It's a little bit difficult to do with Trundle.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I liked it as a takeaway from Peanut, though. I guess if they were choosing to go with this composition, it was never going to be Trundle in the first place. So it was, never a takeaway. That's the top tier mind game coming out from them. But no, I agree. I would like to actually see more front loading. It's like, if you could just have a run at you composition, or even just like a guided missile composition to try and help out the snowball in the mid lane, because we know it's going to be something like a Katarina, we know it's going to be something like an Akali, an assassin, and if you front load, then it just makes the assassin's job easier. But then you're also giving up laning phase, and I feel like a lot of this was a collapse in the laning phase itself.
Yeah, it definitely was, and you can see here, Core JJ probably, Ruler probably did more damage than the entire Saudi Arabian team combined.
We'd have to crunch the numbers on that one. I think Fear would be the only one to upset that ratio.
Yeah, it was a very one-sided affair coming out, dominating performance. They took the laning phase incredibly well. Faker did give up first blood, but it didn't matter because the synergy between Peanut and Faker was absolutely beautiful to behold.
Yeah, he's got a partner in crime, and that's what Faker's been loving about this tournament. But yeah, at the same time, I feel like we shouldn't go back to standard now for Saudi Arabia. I think with one foot is in the cheese water.
Yes.
Put both feet in. Go all the way.
All right. So what good cheese composition would do against Korea?
Well,
I mean, Korea's probably going to go for another skin
I'm just telling you this, Clement. I mean, this squad plays on Europe West.
Yeah.
Well acquainted with Europe West. Condi Sand, of course, being around the scene for many, many years. I remember when he was back on, Match Sports in 2014. I was there casting EU Challenger. So, from the depths of EU solo queue.
12-0 and 4.
Avert your eyes, folks. If you're a Saudi Arabian fan, avert your eyes. But yeah, 12-0 4. That's ridiculous. And we had 17 minutes of game time?
Pretty much. Close to 18. And that's what you get with Peanut.
Yeah, we round up. Yeah, kill participation 53%.
That damage percent can't be correct.
18.2.
Oh, that was damage done for each gold you received.
Oh, right, yeah, damage
so
efficiency.
Wait a minute, damage, you're 82%.
That's insane. That's a world record right there. Breako from the Guinness Book of World Records.
Korea has 4 world champion skins to go through, I believe. Yeah, so
we have best of 3, Clement.
Oh wow, I think they should go for an SKT skin.
Well, we know. Well, I didn't notice. Did Faker actually pick up the skin there for Jarvan? Because this is the thing.
Yeah, he picked up the Jarvan skin. It was the entire set.
That's the only thing that he can actually. This is the only thing that overcomes his inner desires. Like, I will only use classic skins unless we're doing a theme comp.
Oh wow, yeah, that's true. Faker's actually known for not picking skins.
Indeed, we are going to take a short break though while the team set up for game number 2. So stick with us. We'll be back after this.
กับนักร้องหนุ่มเสียงนุ่มแหนมรณเดช
รอคอยซุปตาคนนี้มานานเหลือเกินฮะคุณชอบเพลงนี้อยากกินแหนมคุณ
หาลั่นพร้อมกันพุธนี้ 20:05 นาที
เข้าพรรษาให้ไปไหว้พระเพราะเราคบกับพี่มาเดี๋ยวพี่พาไปไหว้แม่ลูก
เข้าพรรษาต้องไปไหว้พระถ้าอยากปิดทองหลังพระนี่ให้มาปิดที่พี่
เดี๋ยวนะอาจารย์
คนอวดผีพุธนี้พบกับเรื่องราวของคุณยายท่านหนึ่งที่หายจากอาการเจ็บป่วยเพราะการบูชารูปปั้นพญานาคแต่ไม่น่าเชื่อครับว่าคนในบ้านกลับพบเจอเรื่องราวความเฮี้ยนจนถึงทุกวันนี้
เขาหันเท้าไปทางพญานาคแล้วเขาก็รู้สึกตัวขึ้นมาแล้วก็มีเลือดไหลเต็มปากกับจมูกไหลออกมาแล้วก็พาไปโรงพยาบาลอยู่ได้2 คืนคุณป้าคนนั้นก็เสีย
ริวจิตสัมผัสพบเจอภาพหน้าขนลุกที่ถ่ายจากบ้านที่บูชาพญานาค
เห็นเป็นลักษณะเป็นเหมือนพวกรูปปั้นบูชานะครับผมแต่หน้าเนี่ยไม่ใช่หน้าของมนุษย์เพราะฉะนั้นเนี่ยน่าจะเป็นก็เรียกศัพท์ในตำนานศัพท์ในเทพนิยายอะไรอย่างเงี้ยครับเพราะตาเขาออกเป็นแบบนี้
เมกะเวกคุ้มค่าตื่นเรายังอยู่กันที่จังหวัดกาญจนบุรีเรื่องราวจะเป็นอะไรยังไงในแบบไหนเจอกันเหมือนเคยค่ะพฤหัสบดีนี้ 4:45 แล้วเราไปคุ้มค่าตื่นกันค่ะ
การต่อสู้ที่จะมาช่วงชิงความเป็นหนึ่งในสงครามจังเกิลวอร์รอบไฟนอลกับการฟาดฟัน
วันนี้กระต่ายป่ากลับบ้านไงครับแหมปากดี
เชื่อเฉือน
ถ้าร้อนกันมากเรื่องเลี้ยงลูกกับทีหลังโทรมายืมกูตรงๆก็ได้ไม่ต้องมาแข่งให้เหนื่อยรู้ปะ
พุ่งสุดตัว
ที่จะรัก
และแขกรับเชิญสุดพิเศษที่จะมาฟิชเจอริงกับ2 หน้ากากฝากความคิดของฉันเอาไว้อยู่ในเธอเพิ่งมาเลยนะผมไม่รู้ว่าเขาคือใครมาก่อนเสียงเขาบังคับได้ตามใจจริงๆนะฮะนี่คือมืออาชีพจริงๆและคนที่ได้เป็นแชมป์ของจังเกิลวอร์คือหน้ากากร่วมลุ้นไปพร้อมกันพฤหัสบดีที่30 สิงหาคมนี้ 20:05 นาทีเป็นต้นไป
อยู่ในศาลเจ้า30 ปีคนเขาบอกว่ามาหากินในศาลเจ้า
มีครับแต่เราก็ทำความดีครับก็ไม่ได้คิดอะไร
ได้ปลามาตัวนึงทำยังไงมันถึงจะกินไม่หมดเอาไปแกงไงตักแบ่งบ้านนู้นบ้านนี้แล้ววันหนึ่งที่เราอดแกงนั้นน่ะมันกลับมาหาเราจริงไม่ใช่แค่เขาคนเดียวต้องมีอาชีพคนในกลุ่มของเขาด้วย
ศุกร์นี้ 18:00 น.
ไม้ทองคำเด็กสัปดาห์นี้เตรียมหาจนท้องแข็งกับการมาของพวกเขาเหล่านี้
น้องเจลลี่เหรอลูก
ใช่ค่ะ
อุ้ยทำไมน่ารักอย่างเงี้ยสวยๆอย่างงี้มีหนุ่มๆมาจีบหรือเปล่ามีแฟนหรือยังจ๊ะ
มีแล้วค่ะชีตุนกับไอ้เชนแต่ว่ามีใครมาจีบเยอะเลยค่ะแต่หนูชอบแค่2 คนตุนกับไอ้เชนเพราะว่าหนูไม่อยากหลายใจค่ะ
น้องนนท์
ครับ
น้องนนท์หิ้วอะไรมาลูก
ขนมเทียนแก้วทำเองครับแม่ทำให้ครับ
เอามาทำอะไรอะลูก
เอาไม่ให้กรรมการน้ำลายไหลเล่นๆครับ
อยากไปประกวดร้องเพลงอยากไปประกวดมากเลยเหรอน้องก็ร้องให้เพราะๆสิลูก
ครับแล้ววันนี้ฝันของเขาพวกเราพร้อมจะเติมเต็มให้เสียงปรบมือต้อนรับน้องเจ้านะ
กับเสียงร้องแสนไพเราะที่ทำเอาผู้ใหญ่อย่างเราต้องทึ่งเสาร์อาทิตย์นี้ 20:05 นาทีอย่าสายนะจ๊ะ
ไม่ได้ลูกกดแค่นี้ไม่ได้จะไม่ได้สักผ่านเลยต้องกด
แม่เอาก็ได้ค่ะคุณป้าสุนารี
กับนักร้องหนุ่มเสียงนุ่มแหนมรณเดช
รอคอยซุปตาคนนี้มานานเหลือเกินฮะคุณชอบเพลงนี้อยากกินแหนมคุณ
หาลั่นพร้อมกันพุธนี้ 20:05 นาที
เข้าพรรษาให้ไปไหว้พระเพราะเราคบกับพี่มาเดี๋ยวพี่พาไปไหว้แม่ลูก
เข้าพรรษาต้องไปไหว้พระถ้าอยากปิดทองหลังพระนี่ให้มาปิดที่พี่
เดี๋ยวนะอาจารย์
คนอวดผีพุธนี้พบกับเรื่องราวของคุณยายท่านหนึ่งที่หายจากอาการเจ็บป่วยเพราะการบูชารูปปั้นพญานาคแต่ไม่น่าเชื่อครับว่าคนในบ้านกลับพบเจอเรื่องราวความเฮี้ยนจนถึงทุกวันนี้
เขาหันเท้าไปทางพญานาคแล้วเขาก็รู้สึกตัวขึ้นมาแล้วก็มีเลือดไหลเต็มปากกับจมูกไหลออกมาแล้วก็พาไปโรงพยาบาลอยู่ได้2 คืนคุณป้าคนนั้นก็เสีย
ริวจิตสัมผัสพบเจอภาพหน้าขนลุกที่ถ่ายจากบ้านที่บูชาพญานาค
เห็นเป็นลักษณะเป็นเหมือนพวกรูปปั้นบูชานะครับผมแต่หน้าเนี่ยไม่ใช่หน้าของมนุษย์เพราะฉะนั้นเนี่ยน่าจะเป็นก็เรียกศัพท์ในตำนานสัตว์ในเทพนิยายอะไรอย่างเงี้ยครับเพราะตาเขาออกเป็นแบบนี้
เมกะเวกคุ้มค่าตื่นเรายังอยู่กันที่จังหวัดกาญจนบุรีเรื่องราวจะเป็นอะไรยังไงในแบบไหนเจอกันเหมือนเคยค่ะพฤหัสบดีนี้ 4:45 แล้วเราไปคุ้มค่าตื่นกันค่ะ
การต่อสู้ที่จะมาช่วงชิงความเป็นหนึ่งในสงครามจังเกิลวอร์รอบไฟนอลกับการฟาดฟัน
วันนี้กระต่ายป่ากลับบ้านไงครับแหมปากดี
เชื่อเฉือน
ถ้าร้อนกันมากเรื่องเลี้ยงลูกกับทีหลังโทรมายืมกูตรงๆก็ได้ไม่ต้องมาแข่งให้เหนื่อยรู้ปะ
พุ่งสุดตัว
ที่จะรัก
และแขกรับเชิญสุดพิเศษที่จะมาฟิชเจอริงกับ2 หน้ากากฝากความคิดของฉันเอาไว้อยู่ในเธอ
เพิ่งมาเลยนะผมไม่รู้ว่าเขาคือใครมาก่อนเสียงเขาบังคับได้ตามใจจริงๆนะฮะนี่คือมืออาชีพจริง
ๆและคนที่ได้เป็นแชมป์ของจังเกิลวอร์คือหน้ากากร่วมลุ้นไปพร้อมกันพฤหัสบดีที่30 สิงหาคมนี้ 20:05 นาทีเป็นต้นไป
อยู่ในศาลเจ้า30 ปีคนเขาบอกว่ามาหากินในศาลเจ้า
มีครับแต่เราก็ทำความดีครับก็ไม่ได้คิดอะไร
ได้ปลามาตัวหนึ่งทำยังไงมันถึงจะกินไม่หมดเอาไปแกงไงตักแบ่งบ้านนู้นบ้านนี้แล้ววันหนึ่งที่เราอดแกงนั้นน่ะมันกลับมาหาเราจริงไม่ใช่แค่เขาคนเดียวต้องมีอาชีพคนในกลุ่มของเขาด้วย
ศุกร์นี้ 6 โมงเย็น
ไม้ทองคำเด็กสัปดาห์นี้เตรียมหาจนท้องแข็งกับการมาของพวกเขาเหล่านี้
น้องเจลลี่เหรอลูก
ใช่ค่ะ
อุ้ยทำไมน่ารักอย่างเงี้ยสวยๆอย่างนี้มีหนุ่มๆมาจีบหรือเปล่ามีแฟนหรือยังจ๊ะ
มีแล้วค่ะชีตุนกับไอเชนแต่ว่ามีใครมาจีบเยอะเลยค่ะแต่หนูชอบแค่2 คนตุนกับไอเชนเพราะว่าหนูไม่อยากหลายใจค่ะ
น้องนนท์
ครับ
น้องนนท์หิ้วอะไรมาลูก
ขนมเทียนแก้วทำเองครับแม่ทำให้ครับ
เอามาทำอะไรอะลูก
เอาไม่ให้กรรมการน้ำลายไหลเล่นๆครับ
อยากไปประกวดร้องเพลงอยากไปประกวดมากเลยเหรอน้องก็ร้องให้เพราะๆสิลูก
ครับแล้ววันนี้ฝันของเขาพวกเราพร้อมจะเติมเต็มให้เสียงปรบมือต้อนรับน้องเจ้าน
ายกับเสียงร้องแสนไพเราะที่ทำเอาผู้ใหญ่อย่างเราต้องทึ่งเสาร์อาทิตย์นี้ 20:05 นาทีอย่าสายนะจ๊ะ
ไม่ได้ลูกกดแค่นี้ไม่ได้จะไม่ได้สักผ่านเลยต้องกด
แม่เอาก็ได้ค่ะคุณป้าสุนารี
เสียงนุ่มแหนมรณเดช
รอคอยซุปตาคนนี้มานานเหลือเกินฮะคุณชอบเพลงนี้อยากกินแหนมคุณ
หาลั่นพร้อมกันพุธนี้ 20:05 นาที
เข้าพรรษาให้ไปไหว้พระเพราะเราคบกับพี่มาเดี๋ยวพี่พาไปไหว้แม่ลูก
เข้าพรรษาต้องไปไหว้พระ ถ้าอยากปิดทองหลังพระนี่ให้มาปิดที่พี่
เดี๋ยวนะอาจารย์
คนอวดผีพุธนี้พบกับเรื่องราวของคุณยายท่านหนึ่งที่หายจากอาการเจ็บป่วย เพราะการบูชารูปปั้นพญานาคแต่ไม่น่าเชื่อครับว่า คนในบ้านกลับพบเจอเรื่องราวความเฮี้ยนจนถึงทุกวันนี้
เขาหันเท้าไปทางพญานาคแล้วเขาก็รู้สึกตัวขึ้นมาแล้วก็มีเลือดไหลเต็มปากกับจมูกไหลออกมาแล้วก็พาไปโรงพยาบาลอยู่ได้2 คืนคุณป้าคนนั้นก็เสีย
ริวจิตสัมผัสพบเจอภาพหน้าขนลุกที่ถ่ายจากบ้านที่บูชาพญานาค
เห็นเป็นลักษณะเป็นเหมือนพวกรูปปั้นบูชานะครับผมแต่หน้าเนี่ยไม่ใช่หน้าของมนุษย์เพราะฉะนั้นเนี่ยน่าจะเป็นก็เรียกศัพท์ในตำนานศัพท์ในเทพนิยายอะไรอย่างเงี้ยครับเพราะตาเขาออกเป็นแบบนี้
เมกะเวกคุ้มค่าตื่นเรายังอยู่กันที่จังหวัดกาญจนบุรีเรื่องราวจะเป็นอะไรยังไงในแบบไหนเจอกันเหมือนเคยค่ะพฤหัสบดีนี้ 4:45 แล้วเราไปคุ้มค่าตื่นกันค่ะ
การต่อสู้ที่จะมาช่วงชิงความเป็นหนึ่งในสงครามจังเกิลวอร์รอบไฟนอลกับการฟาดฟัน
วันนี้กระต่ายป่ากลับบ้านไงครับแหมปากดี
เชื่อเฉือน
ถ้าร้อนกันมากเรื่องเลี้ยงลูกกับทีหลังโทรมายืมกูตรงๆก็ได้ไม่ต้องมาแข่ง
Finals tomorrow in our best of 5 and again on the second stage tomorrow we'll also be playing our third place matchup.
So there will still be a chance for these teams to come back, and it is a BO3. If Saudi Arabia can get theirs 2-0 in the future, they will be able to advance. The same thing does apply to the People's Republic of China. Things are not over yet.
No, they are not. So we'll see what the team can bring in because game 1, it's Katarina coming up. I like the Katarina a lot. Got first blood of the game, the Silicon Faker. What else? What else are we going to see from this squad? Well, put that on hold for a second, because then we look at the other side, and it seems like we're running theme compositions if you're Korea. So there are a lot of different things. I mean, they went specifically for how the world championship skins, right? So you could go different directions. You could go for like Mecha project. You could go for that Star Guardian maybe, or do they stay with the World Championships?
Look, there's a 100% chance that I feel like they go for a Korean World Championship skin, and they still have 4 more sets of skins to choose from. So there's a lot of different options. They have the 3 SKT skins, the 3 sets of skin that they won in 2013, 2015, and 2016. The only team in the world to have won 3 World Championships. And of course, they still have the 2014 Samsung White skins.
They do, yeah. Now, obviously, a lot of people are going to be looking at Faker and be like, all right, what was Faker's champion? Because it feels like he had like a champion every single year. Like you remember back to obviously Zed, going to be a big one. You look at Rise. I remember Oriana. Yes, he didn't get skin on that, but that's obviously a big one for him.
If I'm Saudi Arabia right now, I would use all my 5 skins and ban out a single position, and I would destroy the theme.
Yeah, I think there's a potential here to take 1 away from each year. And you can actually hit multiple years with some champions because there's layover.
Oh, yeah.
So Rise, you've just blasted 1 composition. Talia, that's another one.
But it does look like... oh, I'm sorry. Korea is choosing the red side.
On the red side, yeah. We're swapping up. And we're into the champion select between Saudi Arabia and Korea. Will be Kenan and Akali coming through from Korea. So again, taking away all the big hypey champions from those solo laners. But meanwhile, on Saudi Arabia's side, definitely hitting some of the world compositions.
Yeah, taking out the Talia and Rise.
Yeah.
Rise, I feel like, is a must ban. We really have been seeing the resurgence of Rise. A lot of Asian mid laners doing probably well on it. It didn't have that good of a win rate, but in the recent patches we've seen Maple, Ryu, Rookie even step up. Extremely strong champion.
Alistair going to be the final ban there as well from Saudi Arabia, and it will of course be Aatrox. Would be very surprised to see that one make its way out of the banning phase, even though Keen's managed to find it twice in the group stage. So a little bit shocked about that one. But yeah, Saudi Arabia looking for their first pick. Doubt it would be a mid laner this early on. I'm probably expecting a mid laner to be very late into the draft. Instead, just going to lock down the Tam Kench early.
You can see the smile onto Keen. It looks like it will be the 2016 skin selection. So that roster was Echo in the top lane, Olaf jungle, Syndra, Jhin, Nami. So they're not going for 2016 then.
Boo. I feel like it might have been a little bit too obvious though after that first game, to the point where Saudi Arabia would just be like, it's just like, just start picking away champions, start banning away champions.
I really like that strategy because you're showing dominance at the same time you're actually hiding your own strategy. So that's actually, like, we might laugh at it, but it's actually a really well thought out way to approach the semifinals.
The other way, though, is looking at the fact that we get to see Peanuts Lee Sin, which is just straight hype, then also a Jhin into the bottom lane. Saudi Arabia picking up, as we said, the Tam Kench, but also the Gnar into the top lane. So that last time around from Keen, so I feel like Wikichi wants a little bit of revenge in the top side.
Yeah, definitely is his most played on EU West. He's very familiar with the champion. And what we've seen in their games against Iran was that once he gets rolling, they do go into the 1-3-1, they do run the entire map.
Yeah, not holding any punches though, immediately just locking in the Kaiser as well. Already has the Tam Kench for a bit of protection there. Now back over to Korea. Are they going to confirm a mid laner early, or they're going to lock in... Is that locked? It is locked. It's going to be a Zyra.
So I have to say, all three of these champions still have world champion skins.
They do, yes.
They might not be from the same year, yeah, because Zyra is not in the meta. She's not even close.
No, but there is SKT Zyra.
Yep. So I think that's what we're going to be seeing, to be honest.
All right, Camille coming there as well, another ban towards Saudi Arabia. Again, it's like Korea are picking like compositions like this, but are still trying to ban away potential upset champions. It's like we're styling, but not too much.
I wonder how Coach Edgar actually, okay, so that's how he's going to approach the ban thing. Yeah. Coach Edgar, of course, the coaching staff for Afrikas,
yes,
is going to.
I want Zephyr behind Korea.
Yeah.
In Asia Games.
I wonder how he's going to communicate this. Okay, so season 3.
Yes, next pick season 3. Yeah, back on Saudi Arabia side, going to be banning away the Jace and Gangplank. And again, big picks for Keen specifically.
So they're still missing a mid laner and a top laner.
All right, what's the pool, Clement?
All right, if they really want to flip the roof off this place, it's Jax. It is going to be season 3, boys.
Season 3 is the theme. Oh man, all right.
That's the Impact champion.
It is, yeah.
Played it 3 times in the finals of season 3 over Royal.
Oh man, okay.
To win SKT's first championship to start the dynasty for Korea.
At the very start, from the beginning to the end. Rek'Sai, okay. I have a Rek'Sai pickup here from Ajwad into the jungle.
Unfortunately, Saudi Arabia does not have a theme of their own yet, but there are strong champions. They're looking to win this game.
Okay, all right, that's going to be a Riven lock-in, folks.
I love the Riven. You know why the Riven's good here?
Why is that?
Because it's a counter matchup to the Zed. If Faker wants to do it, if he wants to get that Season 3 synergy going, he needs to lock in the Zed.
This is actually too good. I mean, everyone wants to see it. Faker, will you rise to your kill? Oh, he goes Syndra, are you kidding me?
Oh, wow.
All right. He actually opted out of the Zed matchup into the Riven here from Fear.
He could have had the roof of the stadium in the sky.
I know. All these fans coming over from Korea right now. Unbelievable.
But he goes for the Season 6 skin. It should be a better matchup into the Riven.
A much better matchup, yes.
Yeah, you can't keep your distance on that champion.
Yeah, Zed just gets absolutely wrecked in the melee range against Riven. There's so much gap close ability. Even Living Shadow is not enough to get you away from Valor and also the Broken Wings.
Definitely. I would love the mic check from Coach Edgar. I want to see how he coordinated everything here.
It was probably like, do it, and Fake was like, nah.
It was good thinking on Fear's side, however.
It was, yeah.
I think he's definitely won the 1v1 like matchup against Faker so far.
He's won Champion Select now.
Yeah,
he won the laning phase. Yeah. Yeah, he actually ran away. He ran away.
Yeah, it's like one of those 90s 90s sitcoms where the bad guy and the good guy are Going to crash each other with a car, and the bad guy always flinches.
Yeah. That's exactly what's happening right here. Crowds behind both of the teams coming into this second game here in the semi-finals. Once again, we do have Chinese Taipei and the People's Republic of China both going toe-to-toe in the other semi-finals right now, so we'll keep you updated on what's happening over there as well after this game. But get to see the compositions one more time. I like to see that Mimic's also picking up pretty high champion in the Kaiser, and of course it's going to be about mid lane once again from Fear, locking in the Riven.
So we're seeing a lot of champions are not necessarily in meta. I would specifically point to the Zyra, which we haven't seen that much, to be honest. And also the Lee Sin is, you know, it's
here and there.
Here and there, yes, but, you know, not really something that we've seen Peanut play recently.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's top priority compared to a lot of the junglers. But we're about to get onto the rift, folks. Korea versus Saudi Arabia.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
I will say, meanwhile in China, it's a lot easier to predict the crowd chants because...
Yeah, I really love what the Korean teams and coaches do in international tournaments. We call it international etiquette, but they do tend to give underdeveloped regions a chance at their games. And it works out for them as well because they don't have to show their strategies going forward into finals.
Yep. I mean, there's a best of 5 coming their way tomorrow. And that will be into 2 extremely strong teams, especially in a series format. So as much as you can hide as possible is very important for these teams. Of course, that's also a storyline that's very true even through the group stage. But we're about to be opening up here. We're about minute 30 into the rift, and we're not going to see any massive invaders come out. Just a bit of vision down the river.
It's a very early red start. I shouldn't say very early, but
very early. The fastest red start we've seen in the history of League of Legends.
No, I just wanted to say that. You know, opening red buff at the start of the game, we could see some cheese coming out from Peanut early on. The Jackson to Nara matchup is quite heavily influenced by jungle pressure.
Oh yeah, but naturally, if you do lock them in the 1 versus 1, Jax actually wins because his strategy is just strap some duct tape over his Q button and just go in repeatedly off cooldown.
Yep, but you do need your jungle pressure to play with that strategy, or it's very easy to be countered out. In the bot side, we are seeing Korea run a very heavy kill lane. Now, this might be just a skin theme, but on the other hand, if someone is caught out by the roots coming in from Core JJ, they could very well one-shot Kai'Sa.
Yeah, I mean, Zyra, I don't know if you folks have played much solo queue recently, but still an extremely toxic champion right now. Very annoying to play into. And plus, when you just have this much range, including the Jhin, it can be very difficult to play into. You can see they have the initial push. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, no, it's struggle streak for Fear.
Yeah,
he was expecting the Z to come out, but it was, in fact, the Syndra in the end.
That was 5 CS missed right there. Faker putting a lot of pressure down into this lane. But fortunately enough for Saudi Arabia, I do like the pick of Rek'Sai. We were talking about the lack of CC coming out from Trundle, and I feel like Rek'Sai really does remedy that problem, so they can go all in on the 2v2 and do expect to come out ahead if they do it early.
Yeah, I want to see some pressure into that mid lane. So I'm just watching Fear right there. His animation cancels are crispy, so I want to see if they can get that Riven rolling. Didn't see too much out of the cat because just didn't really have much support coming out from the jungle or the rest of the map at that point. That is an interaction you don't see very often. Typically, you don't use the tongue lash to also get the Devourer out, but I like it. You get that cannon minion. Now in comes the collapse. Peanut papping towards the bottom side. Mimic under attack. First blood to Peanut.
Just too smooth. The crowd control lands exactly when it needs to. Just as Peanut is coming in, they corral Mimic into the bottom side of the tower where he has nowhere to run.
They barely took a tower shot right there. You take a look at the Keystones running Electrocute on that champion. Bottom lane, of course, Jhin going for the Hail of Blades. And Zyra even going for Comet to add insult to injury. Actually going for a Resolve second.
I think that's actually pretty normal, I would guess. Because you do have crowd control on the E and a re-PK coming in.
Peanut cutting through the wave as well. Nice dodge come out from him, but now he's against the tower and he wants to go back to his Tahm-Kench, but they cannot make it happen. It's going to be another kill coming through to Peanut.
And that was about as well as you could possibly play it coming out from Mimic. He actually dodged both skill shots coming out from the Korean bot lane duo. But unfortunately, the damage coming in from the jungler as well, the Electrocute going down, just too much for him to handle.
Don't do it again, Peanut. Finally, he's gone back to base and he's picked up a full Tiamat at 4 minutes. Of course, he had. Meanwhile, in the top lane, Rajwar just farming up these Krugs while he's got a chance. maybe even looking towards the top lane after this, but this has been read out by Peanut, so it's a bit of a time trial right here. Keen, he's got the flash underneath his belt, pops the E, counter-strike's good, puts the stun down onto Wikichi, has to hop away from this one, and Keen, in a 1 versus 2, deflects.
And he does survive, not even expending his flash to complete that. And Lee Sin should be on his way. They could turn this.
He's already there, nothing personal. Kid jumps right onto Ajwa. Nice knockup coming through, and the Q already used. But Peanut is like, I'm just going to use my flash on this one and get the kill. Follow up, use the ward, and Wikichi has to flash away.
Unfortunate execution, and Peanut is just so far ahead in the matchup right now. Already 3-0-0 with the Tiamat. What this means is that he can now go into the enemy jungle, and he has a clear speed to take everything away from the Rek'Sai.
It's a sad, sad time. And again, all in the middle lane, locked in this 1 versus 1. Fear up against the Syndra pick. It's done relatively well just to survive this one. You've gone for a first back. Peanut just saying, hello, I'm here. Just a reminder. If you want to do anything aggressive in the mid lane, Michelle getting locked down. The AD carry isn't there. Nice dodge on the grasping roots, however, will mean that he'll survive this one, especially because Ruler was lining up the 4th shot.
Definitely had a chance to take down the Tom catch. Faker, I will not forgive you for not picking Zed.
No, history will remember this.
Yeah.
The League of Legends community will not let you forget that you ran away from the matchup. Top playing Keen. Flashes forwards from the counter-strike. Wikichi doesn't have his own flash from that previous gank. About to go Mega, but cannot turn around. Ooh. Oh, the mini-wave cutting through right there.
Yeah, and you can see that he didn't even have a potion running, so very close call coming in for Wikichi in the top lane.
Yeah, very close stuff. We'll have to go back to base regardless. What you have to assume. It looks like he's staying, in fact. Meanwhile, on the bottom side, Peanut looking for yet another gank. But Ajwad's there first, finds the tunnel, gets knocked up to call JJ, but immediately regrets his decision because he is dead to Peanut. Michelle and Mimic now under attack, have to go back to their tower in the top lane. Keen locked down, taking tower aggro. Wikichi looking for the solo kill. Last tower shot comes down, and Keen still managed to win out.
But it doesn't happen. Keen gets his ultimate at the very end. Here comes Fear, though.
Oh, massive ultimate. Wind Slash come through, finds the kill confirmed, but in comes Peanut once again. Root manages to connect, as does the Q. Peanut finds his 5th.
A 5-0-0 Lee Sin. This is a solo Q nightmare for a lot of people right here, because Lee Sin with his execute damage, with his extra AD given to him, it's gonna get worse from here.
How many times can you say that a single player controls all of the kills the team has managed to get over the entire series? That's Fear right now, opening up 2, 3, goes down to Mimic, and that's 4, dodged out by the Kai'Sa, but the support already dead.
Yeah, there's actually 1 kill in the top lane for Keen, so he is ruining Peanut's party just a little bit.
Peanut pushing forwards. That was the Q. Void Seeker doesn't connect. This is a turf war now between the junglers. Ajwad looking for this knock-up. The rest of the team is closing in, though. He's well aware. Lands a Q once again. Doesn't land a flourish, but in comes Core JJ. Flash out, then shut down! Furious bite for the kill.
And he gets the bounty. What a good dodge out by Ajwad, and he gets away as well.
Completely outplayed. Sends Peanut packing. Go back home.
That was such a good sidestep coming in from Ajwad. He actually walked towards the top side, dodged out on the captive audience coming in from Ruler. And they fumble.
Straight outplay.
Yeah, they fumble Peanut's plan. Peanut was going into that with half health, but he thought he had the backup of his teammates. Unfortunately, unable to land the skill shot.
I mean, yeah, you can't call it anything else other than an outplay in the jungle. 2-7 right now. Big plays coming in from the individuals there from Saudi Arabia. Once again, bot lane pushing in, and looks like this first tower should be falling here. Don't see any response really able to come through. I don't blame them, to be honest, because Peanut's probably getting the bottom lane like 17 times in the first 8 minutes of the game. Oh, that stun connected off of the 3. Faker finds the kill. Wasn't expecting that to actually land. It looked off target. But once again, Ajwad finds the kill. Follows through with the Void Seeker.
And Fear is not the only Saudi Arabian member having some fun right here. Ajwad able to get return kills onto Peanut twice in a row now.
Void Rush down. Now he's locked in place. The support versus the jungle. Look at the damage coming through from this Zyra. Basically gone full AP as much as you can at the early portion of the game.
And that's actually quite favorable for Ajwad, because he does get the summoner and the ultimate away from Core JJ. They will lose another tower.
They will indeed. Now 4,000 gold ahead, Korea, but we can take a look at that last play once again. So yeah, ball's already dropped on the floor, and yeah, that was janky, man.
I think the alley-oop was really good. Like the stun, like Peanut actually did predict the stun landing in from Faker, and Faker pushed him right into the resonating strike.
Yeah, it looked weird because I was like, there's no way that stun's gonna land. But it must have just caught Riven's foot, maybe the sword. But yeah, nice setup coming into the mid lane. Top lane though, Ashwood looking at this one. Swapping up lanes now, Roller up there, Core JJ just behind him. There is a small opportunity, a small window here where they could collapse here, Saudi Arabia. Fear comes in, activates the ultimate already.
Doesn't get the stun down though.
He's setting up broken wings. He's coming up with the combo, misses it over the wall. Turns around the wind slash, not enough damage. Now Ashwood under attack. Managed to get Michelle there, but now he is rooted in place. Follow through from the Jhin. Opening up the curtain call, fish in a barrel. Michelle walking out of this one. Void Rush comes in. He's got to follow through once again. Furious Bite, and the Queen Trap is good. Another kill to the jungler.
Things are getting wild here in the top side, but Faker comes
Faker here to clean up the mess. Turns around once again, looking for the kill onto Mimic, but he dodges through. Killer Instinct that still takes a massive amount of damage from that dog sphere. Faker has the flash, jumps forward once again, follows up, unleashed power, triple kill.
He still had the ultimate in his hand. I can't believe it. Such a cleanup coming in from Faker, and there's nowhere to hide for the Saudi Arabian members.
There is nowhere to hide, unfortunately, as you said. 12-2 currently, but it's all action in the early game. 11 minutes have gone by and we have 16 kills. Peanut duking out of Shadi in the pit here. Let's go back to the start.
Oh, I wanted to see the ruler footsies right there because he killed Fear with basically 2 auto attacks. That's really what gave Korea the big advantage in this skirmish in the top side. Faker comes in, he finds a low health Tahm Kench. That was I would say the easier kill of the 3. And then he flashes in, predicts a direction that the Dark Spear would be landing in. And still has the unleashed power for the final kill.
Yeah, I mean, it was still good for Mimic. That's all you could really hope for if you're a Kai'Sa with that killer instinct. Meanwhile, in the bottom lane, Keen under attack 1 versus 3. Getting chased down here. The initial slow land of Michelle. Try and clear the minions. Yeah, has to flash to Tongue Lash. Otherwise, that would have probably been a kill confirm there coming out of Ashwood once again. Fear in this top side, 1 versus 1. Flash out of the dog's Fear, looking for the kill combo. There's the setup! 1 versus 1 kill, solo kill once again. Fear into Faker.
And this is the second solo kill that we've seen in this series. Can he get another one, though?
Well, he's up against Core JJ and a lot of plans to boot. In comes Jhin from the sidelines, and Peanut's there to support. But he got what he came for, Clement.
Yeah, he definitely did. Fear's name will go down in history.
Oh, Peanut. I don't know, that's enough damage. He's going to have to keep following through. Yeah, Peanut needs another Q to connect. Oh, are you kidding me? That plant? So drop.
But he does fall down.
Who's teleporting on that one? It's Keen. And he's keen for some kills. He's following up onto the Tahm Kench. Peanut off to the side, looking to line up the Q. In comes Ashwood from the sidelines, though. Connects the Void Seeker, ready to follow through that Void Rush. Knock him onto Keen once again. Doesn't have the counter-strike of Peanut. Chooses to go to the back line, but a great gobble out from Michelle. Meanwhile, Peanut trying to escape from this play, but Keen's already dead. There's the curtain call, though, up to the top side. Michelle gets the kill onto Peanut. Ming, where's the bottom? There it is, it's good!
And Peanut gets taken out by the Krugs. So Tahm Kench and the Krug, and the Gromp, actually. So Tahm Kench and the Gromp, you know, both toad-looking like creatures. They do have great synergy there.
Fair.
Peanut tried to escape with the resonating strike, but unfortunately, the inhabitants of the jungle were not so kind on his retreat path.
Yeah, no one expects the rogue agent, the Gromp right there, paid off by Team Saudi Arabia, ready to just shank him around the corner. Amazing.
But this is just such a fun game to cast. You can see that, you know, Korea are playing a little bit loose. They're going in and doing the kill trades, trying to push their mechanics to the absolute maximum.
I want to see this full combo coming out from Fear. Looked like an E ult, yeah, with the flash as well for the cancel.
Oh, and Faker just had no chance.
It was just clean. That's just the standard kill combo there from Riven.
That was the instant flash in just to avoid the possibility of being knocked back. That's a weird position for the red buff to be in, but it does look like a Faker steal.
Yeah, fun fact, a lot of Riven's abilities can be cancelled. E is a major part of that, especially for ultimate. You can hide your ultimate animation using your E. And E could also be chained into W and Q very easily, vice versa with Q into E, and Q into W. You played much Riven yourself, Mr. Clement?
No. She's too hard to play.
That's fair, your champion pool is play. So, mine to be fair is Alawi, so I don't know if I can talk necessarily. Mid lane tower goes down.
Yeah, it does look like Korea is looking for business. They're actually grouping up now. Not going for the crazy one-on-one fights anymore.
No, but they do have the siege engine still here. To be a little bit fearful. Riven. I mean, with the ultimate available, no flash though. I mean, Riven is very flash reliant, especially in skirmish and teamfight scenarios, really to get the most out of her initial burst. Because Riven, like it or not, is very much a burst champion. That would be hilarious. Because when you drag a blue buff away from that position, he'll just sprint. He'll do the 100-meter back to his original position.
Yeah, I feel bad for the blue buff. You just want to go home.
That's true. I've seen a little bit of Cinder recently cropping up. It's a bad day for jungle monsters.
Definitely is. And I'm actually surprised by how big the gold lead actually is. It seemed back and forth for a while, but Korea still with a 7k gold lead now.
Yeah, a lot of it's from the towers and also the farm, I believe, just out of the laning phase.
And I just wanted to point to Wikichi. He is trying to give Keen a taste of his own medicine, taking up the Samsung Galaxy skin.
Yeah, I respect it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't a great last game for him. It just felt bad as a Cho'Gath, and when Anar gets ahead, what are you going to do, really? Managed to find that first item power spike, the Wit's End. This time goes immediately into the Black Cleaver, going for more of the teamfighty build right here. Wikichi.
Man, imagine if Korea was going to do this to Chinese Taipei or the People's Republic of China team.
In semis?
If they move forward into the finals. If they did that there, that would absolutely blow my mind.
Yeah, yeah. I
if
mean,
they could still win.
100%, but it would definitely be a chaotic game because specifically People's Republic of China, chaos is their middle name. So yeah, that would be pretty exciting to watch regardless. Bottom side though, set up from 3.
No real defense coming.
I mean, it's just fear. I don't know if anyone's coming to help them actually. It looks like one person is coming down. It's going to be Ajwat, but to make sure they push any further from this one.
Yeah, Saudi Arabia is just looking to basically sell their turrets just to gain a little bit of time for Mimic to develop. He has his first item at 16 minutes.
Yeah, Peanut moving on to the Dragon. Of course, that happens to be an Infernal. Next one's going to be Ocean.
All right, I want to see Faker challenge Fear to a duel.
Well, he's already challenged them to 2 duels. Both of them he's lost. So
I don't think Faker has a solo kill on Fear yet, though.
No.
Yeah.
No, he doesn't. I mean, Faker has opted out of the Z matchup. He's died twice, 1 versus 1 solo kill.
You can't let that stand. That's one of the things I really admire about Faker.
Tonight is just a best of 7. It's just like you lose the next game, and you're like, all right, best of 7, best of 11, best of 71. You're like, gotta get something back on the board.
Yeah.
I mean, I know he's been picking on his side lanes. You know, he likes to roam, like he styled on them top lane, and it's like, okay, but that's still not a kill on Fear, is it? You know?
He does like to set the record straight. We have seen this at Worlds events as well.
That's fair. Yeah, very much a storied player. Saudi Arabia pushing to the bottom jungle, but it's just lit up like a Christmas tree right now from Korea.
It's actually quite difficult for Saudi Arabia to find some of these engages that they want. Korea, of course, is going into the 1-3-1 once more.
Yeah, so what you will about the champion picks and the chaos of the early game, but they are still playing the mid game exceptionally clean here, Korea. Pushing it at the right times, good lane assignments, also placing down deep vision. Still playing to win here.
They've actually taken down the last 2 towers without Saudi Arabia so far as returning a shot. Not even a single auto attack. That's just the macro ability of LCK.
Also, there's not a lot to fire back, though, if you're Saudi Arabia. I mean,
which is true.
Almost, I mean, you have 2 range champions who are relatively short range. You have a Void Seeker, a Boomerang, and a Prey Seeker, if you like to shoot back. So at that point, it's just like, all right, maybe just give this one up and then conserve our abilities for a potential all-in.
It does feel like Korea's just going to wait it out and go for the Baron play. Not really a lot of action happening here. They're happy to just take the towers down.
The funny thing is, this is a relatively long game, given the fast games we've had in this tournament so far. We've had multiple 16, 17-minute games.
Yeah, it has been.
This one's going to crest 20 minutes. Baron hasn't even needs to get out of bed in the morning. Sam not even needed, am I? For Asian Games 2018.
You know, when the Korean team decides to play crazy, they can go super crazy. So 43 kills was the record so far in this tournament. Was Korea against Kazakhstan.
43 kills.
Yeah. It was only a 22-minute game as well, so they went really hard on it.
Yeah, that definitely adds to it. Fear was not winning that 1 versus 1, but he had the posse coming. There's a lot of people in the jungle, though. You can see Faker actually just pacing up and down the river. I have to respect he's taking on the grab.
Does look like Korea's trying to close the noose. Lance CC.
Oh, 1 versus 1 right here. Ruler following up. He really wanted that 4th shot, but Fear angrily running towards him. You see a Riven in a dark alley and you're going to back up. It doesn't really matter how far the Riven is behind or how far ahead you are. If you're a squishy target, you probably want to leave the vicinity.
And this is so well done. The sequence of plays is really tremendous coming out from Korea. They chunk out Wikichi in the bot lane. Keen just won a solo versus that. They know that they don't have enough members to defend the mid and instantly push up. So all of these plays, all of these picks, they're coming in the correct sequence, and they're being followed up with a very good tempo. That's one of the key concepts that we have in League of Legends.
Oh, flash forward from Wikichi. Nice animation counter on that one. Flash over the wall there from CoreJJ, but that's a lot of damage. In comes the Rek'Sai, goes golden midair, and in comes Fear, looking for the execute. Keen low, he'll drop, but that's a 1 for 3, and they look for more. Here comes the curtain call, lands 1, finds the 2nd. Sharpshooter right now, 5 kills for 1 here, Korea.
And it looked so good for a moment. Adwad came in and actually wasted Faker's ultimate. But unfortunately, they still didn't have enough firepower to finish the entirety of the fight.
I mean, that's a fight if you were equal gold. That's probably going to work out super well for you. The setup was fantastic there from Saudi Arabia, but Korea finished it in that fight, and they will finish the semi-final and advance to the grand final tomorrow here in Asian Games 2018.
Mitchell getting something back for his team, but is not going to be able to change the course of this semifinals.
Yeah, the Kench has truly been benched. But victory there coming out from Korea. Having a little bit of fun here today with 2 Worlds compositions. Well, the second one was a smattering of different champions.
Yep. But they still managed to get the job done in about 40 minutes of game time.
They did indeed, in an entire best of 3. But on the opposite side, I'd like to just shout out Saudi Arabia. You know, as a team, I think they've come incredibly far, making the top 4 alongside many massive titans of the League of Legends world. So managing to do that here in Asian Games, big deal for them as a team, big deal for them as a region. I know the infrastructure is growing right now. We had the chance to talk over to the Saudi Arabian Esports Federation just a while back, and for them, it means a whole lot to be here, managing to face down Korea here today, and also getting a little bit back as well. You know, they did not go down without a fight.
Definitely didn't go down in the stranglehold that Korea typically likes to play. I feel like several of these players really did make a name for themselves on the Asian Games stage. Fear, of course, getting 2 solo kills, unanswered solo kills, I might add, on Faker. That's a big accomplishment for any
one
player.
Series, 2-time solo kill on Faker. And also, you laid down the gauntlet as well, the Riven pick coming forward. We were expecting the Zed pick. Like, all right, if you want to complete, what, a Season 3 world composition right here with the Zed, it's going to have to be Zed. But what was it? Goes to Season 6. Unbelievable stuff coming out there from Faker. Bailed away from the challenge.
And for those of you that are not particularly familiar with League of Legends history, the most hype play in the world was Faker on that Zed against Ryu Zed.
Oh, yes.
The Shadow matchup. And Faker, of course, came through that matchup and went all the way on to Worlds to win his first title. So it has a lot of historical importance for him. It would have been a great finish to the series, but unfortunately he didn't take it. He went for the meta pick in the Syndrome.
Yeah, a lot of connotations. I mean, it's a big deal even for Faker actually to move away from just his classic skins and go onto a skin even in the first place. So it's just like, I don't know. I feel like we could have made history here today. History will remember this, Faker. But still, Korea taking the 2-0. Very dominating win here over Saudi Arabia. We'll be moving into tomorrow in the grand finals in a best of 5. We still don't know actually who is going to be facing them, though, because the other semi-final is still going on right now in stage 2. Let's turn it around because we can actually see the score right there. Any updates, Mr. Clement?
Nope, the game score has not changed, so they're still going on in game 2. We will have that information for you once it finishes.
Yes, Chinese Taipei currently 1-0 in that matchup. It was a relatively fast game, ended around at the same time as our first game, and now in the second game they're still ongoing. So again, we'll try and get that on to you. If we don't manage to get it today, check out Twitter, any of social media, and we'll shoot it over to you there as well. But still, this tournament is heating up, Clement, as we get back into the bracket stage. It's definitely getting pretty hype.
I have to say that everything is going back to what we expected to happen out of this tournament. The 3 teams out of the East Asian qualifiers did emerge as the final survivors here. So, you know, to be honest, League of Legends as a title has been very dominated by East Asian esports. All championships, excluding Season 1, have been won by this region. It has the highest player base. So, you know, the infrastructure, the history that East Asia does have with the title does come to bear at the end.
Yeah, and again, it's because the infrastructure has been there for so long. You know, it's just like maybe looking at other regions, when they start to build up, you look at a lot of the regions specifically in Europe, you know, those regions start to build up, they start producing superstars, they go to, you know, EU, LCS, then you see them move to international as well. So that's the fascinating thing. It's just like over time, it's to a player base, infrastructure, all these things, once they come at the same time, it is a timeline, you know? It's just like once you go into infancy, adolescence, and eventually get to adulthood, which basically is what Asia is right now, you start producing world-class players.
And what's so cool about the game is that there's so many different things that you can specialize yourself in, that all of these different regions, they bring something different to the table. We talked about Korea, their macro game, their top laners are really renowned around the world. People's Republic of China, they are known more for their marksmen. Guys like Uzi, they really dominate the field in that position. So
and the mid laners too.
Yeah, I would say the mid laners as well. So for these new regions, new teams rising up, they can actually select what they want mastery on and try to hone themselves in.
I don't think I've ever seen a damage graph like this.
You mean more to the bottom, the more damage they do? That's Cyrus.
Yeah, but then the exact opposite on the top side.
It does make a beautiful picture, doesn't it?
Yeah, but that's very rare to literally have the opposite so damage percentage.
The one on the top side is the normal one. It definitely would be the normal one.
But then you don't typically have the opposite on the opposite side, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. Yeah. That just tells you how much, like, basically where the action was happening.
Yeah, people say that League of Legends isn't an art. It's created one right there, you know what I mean?
Damage graph art.
Yeah, Peanut number 2 on the man of the match, MVP, 8, 3, and 5. A little bit silly this time around. Last game when Celia didn't die, this time died 3 times.
That doesn't really matter. Like, he was having a lot of fun, and I think the important thing is to notice how he did his early jungle pathing. He went down to the bot lane multiple times, and once you get fed on a Lee Sin, it's impossible to actually dislodge you from the jungle. You have so much mobility and so much 1v1 potential.
Yeah, that was almost unfair though. He probably ganked the bot lane like 4 or 5 times in like 2 minutes.
Mimic does not want
please just leave the bottom lane at this point. For now, we're going to set it on stage where Isaac's standing by for an after-game interview.
After match interviews, I am Isaac Peña Muley. Now we have our first finalist for tomorrow's final, the Republic of Korea. And I'm over here with the 2 matches MVP, Peanut. Peanut, it's becoming a habit of you to take these MVPs. You guys are doing so well. Today against Saudi Arabia, you guys control from beginning till the end. Talk to us. Did you guys prepare this match against Saudi Arabia? Did you guys know the strategy of this team before today's match?
처음부터 끝까지 다 무쇠가 있는데요. 그래서 사우디에 대해 특별히 준비했어요.
일단 저격밴을 좀 위주로 준비했고요. 네, 픽은 저희가 충분히 이길 수 있는 픽으로 준비했는데 결과가 잘 나온 것 같아서 다행입니다.
就是他们稍微准备了一下对战那个沙特阿拉伯的那个战略，然后在选择英雄上，然后有一些好的那个对应，所以然后这次赢了之后有了一个好的结果，非常幸运。
We did prepare a game before this Saudi Arabian team. We knew what kind of heroes they could choose, and we know what kind of heroes we had to choose in order to have a good result like what we just had right now. Second question, tomorrow is going to be the final of our Asian Games esports demonstration event of League of Legends. It's a great event. We know that you guys are very used to the finals. What do you normally do the day before the final? How do you prepare?
내일 결승전인데 오늘 밤에 어떻게 준비할 거예요?
일단 컨디션 관리가 제일 중요할 걸로 예상되고요. 이제 남은 경기 를 저희가 녹화를 해놔가지고 대만이랑 지금 중국이 하고 있는 경기를 다시 돌려볼 예정이라 경기를 보면서 준비를 하면 좀 내일도 좋은 결과 있을 것 같아요.
首先今天晚上主要是会进行一些团队协作方面的那个准备，然后呢，今天会等待那个中国跟中国台北的结果出来之后，再针对他们的那个决赛会遇到的对手进行特别的准备。
First of all, what we're going to do is to wait for the result between Chinese Taipei and then the People's Republic of China to see who is going to be our opponent for tomorrow. After knowing that result, we will start preparing really hard to have the best result. Well, Peanut, I really hope that tomorrow you're going to do your best and that you're going to enjoy a great final that you're going to bring to us and to everyone just watching at home. Thanks to everyone, and we're going to see you again.
Always great to hear from Peanut, and at the same time, it's just like definitely keeping everything to his chest. The second answer was just like, no, I'm just not saying anything. I don't want to give anything away to
AIS Play รวมความบันเทิงคุณภาพเปิดความสนุกทุกที่ทุกเวลา
Matamu, kuatkan hatimu, berikan energi di dalam semangat.